The compact storage solution that we have here in the archive of the Center for Popular Music has meant to us that we know our materials are being properly stored. The space that we have available to us in this facility, in this room, is being used in an optimal way. The Center for Popular Music is a research archive devoted to the full breadth of American popular music and its entire history and all the genres of folk and also commercial popular music. So we have a large collection of sheet music, individual pieces and songbooks of various kinds, hymnals and method instruction books and things like that. We have manuscript collections from musicians, from people in the music industry, and scholars and collectors. And a lot of those are business papers and personal items like lyric sheets, handwritten lyric sheets from songwriters. We also have, of course, a very large collection of sound recordings in every format, going back to Edison-style cylinders. But we have over 100,000 vinyl LPs. We have over 30,000 78 RPM discs from the early 20th century. And of course, CDs and all manner of tape. And we have photographs, we have posters and playbills and programs and advertisements from live shows and other things of that nature. So it's a really large and varied collection that documents the history of American vernacular music making from the 18th century all the way to the present. So in the early years of the center occupying this space, and this building opened in the early 90s, 92 or 93, this big archival storage room was filled with stationary shelving. For a number of years that was sufficient, but there was a mezzanine on one side and the stuff that was underneath it was not getting proper protection, not good air circulation, not good coverage by our fire suppression system, not good lighting, and not a good space to work in, and not a good space for the preservation of the materials. As the collection grew and we started to realize that we were filling up those spaces, the decision was made to put some available money into securing and outfitting the room with taller, compact shelving that would give us a lot more efficient use of the space, and also take care of some of the preservation challenges in terms of proper air circulation, proper coverage by fire suppression, good lighting so we could always see no matter where we were, no matter how we moved the units around, we could always see what we were looking for and working with. When the shelving went in, we also took the opportunity to put in new lights and make a few other environmental improvements in here. And we worked with Patterson Pope to design the spaces to make sure that they were configurable to our changing, flexible needs, to make sure that we could get our big OSHA ladder in and out of these spaces, some of which can be a slightly tight turn geometrically. But the design worked extremely well for us. It's paid off in that we've been able now to reorganize the entire collection to make sure that things of like nature are now together, physically together, in various spaces. It's given us more room to work with as we've had large collections come in and we need to put things one place and then move them someplace else as they get processed. We've had more space to do that. So it's really been a great help to us and made our work much more efficient in every aspect of what we do with the collection. To have this compact shelving now running throughout the entire room has really been a huge benefit both in terms of allowing us to have much more shelf space and properly sized and configured storage space for all these different formats that we have. But it also has meant that our own access as staff is improved. We know that the conditions, environmental conditions, are improved because of the way these units are configured and what that allows us to do in the room. So it's been a really wonderful storage solution for us in a challenging kind of collection, because we have so many different shapes and sizes and formats, and to make efficient use of the space that we have, these have really worked well for us. Working with Patterson Pope was really easy for us. Our representative here, Paul Myers, was very responsive in understanding what our needs are. He had worked with research collections and universities before, but a music archive is a little bit different thing, different kind of animal. And he understood very well what our needs were going to be and worked with us to find solutions, because we understood the collection, but we didn't understand exactly what was going to be the best way to make the most efficient use of our space and have it still be something that we could continue to work with, continue to grow into. And Paul and his crew were very responsive and understanding, and worked with us on design ideas and then fine-tuning the idea once we had the general sense of it. And then the installation process was efficient and timely, and it was a real pleasure to work with everyone at Patterson Pope. My advice is not necessarily any great pearl of wisdom, but my advice would be to think carefully not only about what you need now, but what you're going to need in the future, and think about ways that you can work within the space and with the storage facilities and solutions that are available. Because it's not just about finding enough space to put things, but working with them, because things are constantly moving around. We're always adding to, finding things in the collection. So this is a workspace for us. It's not simply storage, which sounds kind of stationary or final, but this is a working area for the archival staff here. So having the right kind of storage units and a space that's designed for us to work in with the collection has meant that we are able to help our donors, to help our researchers, our students, everyone who comes here to use our materials in a much more effective and efficient way. And that is fundamental to why we're here and why we even have a Center for Popular Music, is to make sure that things are preserved for future generations and to make sure that current generations have access to this material, because it's not worth preserving if nobody can get to it.